Air pollution is killing millions of people worldwide every year, with 9 out of 10 people breathing air containing high levels of pollutants. That's the conclusion from the World Health Organization's latest research on pollution, which uses data from 4,300 cities in 108 countries. It's the world's poorest people who are suffering most from the effects of air pollution. Take a look.
Oxygen cocktails, the latest idea to combat choking air pollution in Mongolia's capital, Ulaanbaatar. Sales soar in winter when people burn coal to keep warm.
By drinking oxygen as a cocktail, it gets into our body much faster.
Scientists say such claims are unfounded, but there is consensus on the seriousness of the problem. Air pollution levels in Ulaanbaatar can reach 100 times World Health Organization limits.
The real solution on avoiding the problems caused on your lungs and in your cardiovascular system by air pollution is to reduce air pollution and to avoid exposure to air pollution.
The WHO estimates about 7 million people die every year from air pollution. Fine particles of sulfate, nitrates, and black carbon can penetrate deep into the lungs and cardiovascular system, causing diseases including stroke and heart disease, lung cancer, and respiratory infections, including pneumonia. More than 90% of those fatalities occurred in low- and middle-income countries, mainly in Asia and Africa, a fact WHO aggregate figures can obscure, say analysts.
When discussing air pollution, it's important to acknowledge its particular impact on, for example, the very young, the elderly, persons with pre-existing cardiac or respiratory conditions, those who live close to sources of air pollution, such as busy roads and polluting factories, and those who work in low-paid, poorly regulated jobs where occupational exposure may be higher.
Avis and colleagues from Britain's University of Birmingham, in conjunction with African counterparts, are researching how rapid urbanization in Addis Ababa, Kampala, and Nairobi impacts air quality. By 2050, it is projected that 2/3 of the world's population will live in cities.
It is in the poor, informal settlements on the peri-urban periphery that growth is expected to be greatest. Rapidly expanding cities that are poorly planned, managed, and governed can become centres of poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation marked by worsening air quality.
The WHO says there has been progress, with many cities collecting air pollution data for the first time and policy initiatives bearing fruit. They highlight Mexico City's commitment to ban diesel cars by 2025. In Mongolia, the government has begun funding air filtration systems for urban schools. Critics say that is just treating the symptoms and authorities must do more to cut the sources of pollution.